World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Jana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be linked to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She is magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is now.
Greetings and welcome to Access Wealth Nation with Dr. Jana B. Woodhouse, giving you that checkup from the neck up, getting that financial strategy so that you can have your financial roadmap and your journey. Because this is a journey. And boy, more than ever in these days, we're having major journeys, major challenges. And I think this is the time that we've really got to sit down. And of course, we're broadcasting every Thursday at 6 p.m. from Soul City Network and WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Proud to be a part and definitely proud to know that we are out here reaching folks and giving them financial literacy. One of my biggest components right now is being a certified financial educator. Because education must come first, and then after we can do action. But we've got to start first. In the process of it, though, as you know, we promote financial literacy, and through one of our partners, which is wealthwave.com. And of course, I have my own page, wealthwave.com/Jana B. That's JANAB. And you can get lots of information on that site. But we do have our How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker book. And this book has been out. It's over almost 1 million copies have been distributed. You can get the book on Amazon. But if you reach out to me and go to Anaj Enterprises Inc. at gmail.com, email me and say you want the book. Or you can go to my webpage at wealthwave.com/Jana B. And those two places you can order the book. But if you send me the email, I'll make sure that the book goes out. The women's book is beginning to be a little bit limited. I still have some though. But we have How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. And the reason why, we know sucker is a rough word, but the key is that that's what it was when we started this journey. And I became the urban distributor for this book because we needed to know it in our community. You'll feel me, right? And so um, we were able to, in doing so, the reason why it's called Sucker is because if you remember, during COVID, many people didn't go in the bank, but in the bank was the when you walked in, the tellers had candy on either side of them. They were usually lollipops. They weren't just, they were suckers. And guess what those suckers were? They were dum dums. They were really telling you what they thought about you, you know. And now a lot of the banks are now putting their logo on it, but they're still suckers. Okay, so but if you so want, so you can get the book. Just say you want the How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker book. There's also for women, there is, and it's not just for women to read because men need to know, but there's the How Money Works book for women, and it's Take Control or Lose It. A lot of that has to do with because come 2030, and I know some people think that that's right around the corner, and it is. Okay, and some think it's so far away, but it's not. And in there are characters that you can learn certain things that you need to know because 2030, $30 trillion, that's with a T, is going to be moving in this wealth transfer over to women. Now there's 127 trillion transferring, and we're in the midst of that right now because we see money transfer that's from silent generation, those that are still around, to baby boomers onto Gen X. There's money being transferred. If we don't know what to do with the money, we're game to lose it. And so that's why it's Take Control or Lose It. And for you young folks, we have a book called How Money Works, The Next Generation. This is for individuals 18 to 40. I never thought I would say that the next generation was 40. But if you want that book too, you can just send us the email or go on the website and you can click. And in that, this tells the story of folks who are in the ages of 18, getting ready to go to college, all the way up to getting their first home, 30, 40 years old. What should we do? So these three books are available. They're also, if you want a summary, you can reach out to me at 646-375-2121. That's the office, and say you'd like just the summaries. Some people don't want to read. They say if you want to hide something, put it in the book. So that's what happens. Some people just, they just want the bottom line. And we can send you the ebook synopsis. But the bottom line is these books are important because it gives you the gist and the ideas of what you need to do. And along with it, from my office, with the people who are in my office, my associates, we're opening up again for free financial analysis. And that's to show you, we call it the discovery. It's where you are and then finding out where you'd like to be. But where you are is important because many a times we don't put down in writing where we really are. The first word that I usually see with people is they say, I'm good. I'm good. Most of the time when they tell me they're good, they're really bad. They just don't want to say it, but they're really bad and they need help. And if you don't have a plan, then you truly are planning to fail. And why would you do that when people are out here ready to help and assist you? And we are definitely here at Access Wealth Nation wanting to assist with no obligation. It's just the fact that we want to be able to guide you. Because if you know better, you know the saying, you'll do better. And so that's what my mission is, along with going out. And I have to give big shout outs. There's Omega Psi Phi chapter on the 24th of January. I will be there with the Black College Tour and sharing information with those young folks getting ready to find their college and moving on in this world. We have to prepare our young people and create the legacy so that they know how to go forward. So I'm going to have some fun with that, and I appreciate Omega Psi Phi chapter uh, fraternity allowing me, and some of my associates, Cynthia Swanjan, will be attending with me to share some powerful information, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm out here to give financial seminars, even to do them in my office. If I know in advance, we can set it up where you can sit and learn. But more than anything, here we are at Access Wealth Nation on the Soul City Network. So you just got to tune in. You can be in your pajamas and learn a little bit about your money, and also we accept questions on this broadcast. And so if you have a question, just don't make it personal. Okay. But if you have a general question, please, on the topics that we're dealing with, or if there's topics that you'd like to hear about, please share it with me. You can send it to either my email, or you can send it to our telephone number, the 646-375-2121, or to my email, anajenterprisesinc@gmail.com, and let us know some of the things you'd like to hear about or discuss. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy right now, and there's some views as far as the tax, because we're here getting ready to go into tax season, and I will be doing a show on taxes in the near future. But in the process of it, we have to be ready for all the new laws and things, because 2025 was supposed to be the end of the tax laws, and new tax laws were supposed to come in. That didn't happen because we had the same administration came back, and a lot of the benefits that we used to have, we don't have. It's just that simple. We do have some changes, and I will go through them when we do the tax show, of what's positive and what's not so positive. But thank you all for tuning in. It's important. Today's topic that we have happens to be on business structure, and I thought it was good to start the year off with this to inform folks, because a lot of people have the wrong structure. I know I'm not supposed to say wrong, well, not the most advantage, let's put it that way. It's business structure, but they know they want to be in business. That's good. Entrepreneurship is very important, but the key is to take it to the next level, and knowing that because your business structure is inevitably connected to your taxes and how you tax. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get started, I wanted to play this video because I thought it was so powerful, and I share it with the Wealth Wave organization on something that we stopped doing, dreaming. So we like the video.
Why does it seem like no one wants to talk about dreams anymore? Is it the post-9/11 worries, the post-recession blues, or the posts on social media by anyone with an opinion that have made the world so cynical these days? Are they obsolete, out of style? Are they uncool? Do you still have dreams? For many North Americans, a dream is nothing but an old-fashioned idea replaced by the harsh reality of a modern world. Longer work hours, higher debt, fewer raises, horrible bosses, less family time. Who's got time for dreams when everyone's just trying to get by? We're here to officially announce that Wealth Wave is bringing dreams back. And we're not doing it for just the ultra-wealthy like others are. We're doing it for everyone. Every age, every background, every gender, every experience level. Whoever you are, we're here to help you. And help starts with a financial education. When people know how money really works, they can reduce debt and enjoy the confidence that comes from knowing their families are protected financially. They can discover the excitement that comes from a solid strategy to save for the future and the hope that one day they might become financially independent. But we don't stop there. We open the door to anyone to become a business owner and be part of our mission to help others. We don't want anyone to shrink the size of their dreams to fit the size of their opportunity. That's why there's no limit to how many people can reach our top promotion levels. And that's why we don't put any limits on how much you can earn with us. Success is not reserved for a few. It's offered to anyone willing to learn, work hard, and grow. We believe anyone with the right support can transition from where they are today as someone's employee to where they could be tomorrow as an entrepreneur who owns their future. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to help build theirs. When you know how to protect your family financially, when you take control of your money, when you're enabled to succeed, an amazing thing happens. Dreams are all you want to talk about. If you still have dreams, start here.
So there you go. Dreaming. You know, Martin Luther King said that people basically die at the age of 18 because they stopped dreaming and they just wait it out, you know. And in this economy that we're in right now, this is a place all-time high on the Dow. NASDAQ kind of bouncing a little bit, but still. And all these things, I said one of the classes someone requested was on terms, so I'm going to do it. I didn't forget about you. On the terms, the financial terms, because they hear all of this stuff and they don't know what it means. And I want to make sure people understand. But again, a lot of stuff is inside the book, how money works. And but that being said, is that with all that going on, this is a key opportunity, especially for us who have not been in the market or think we've not been in the market. You always are in the market. When you go to the market, to the supermarket, and you buy lemons and cucumbers and beef and everything you buy, that's part of the market, you know. But it's a distant one. But you can always look at my favorite movie, which is Trading Places. Sort of explains that with the pork bellies and the orange juice and gold and silver. But the key is knowledge is power. Action is truly freedom. And so this is what we're going to talk about today because it said in the video, you know, if you are working for someone, you are working for their dreams, their goals, their desires. But what about yours? And I remember George Lucas, yeah, Star Wars guy, he said it so well too. What can you do at 7 o'clock in the morning and still do it till 7 o'clock at night and not really move or go get something to eat? Because that's your passion, the thing that you would do even if people wouldn't even pay you for it. That's your passion. And if that's the case, then you need to find out how people going to pay you for this passion, this dream, this desire that you have. And then maybe you get some people to work for you just like you're working for other people. Mm, just a thought. So that being said, it's interesting. I just have been attending today the Real Success seminar, and it's going on for 4 days, today all the way to Sunday, and it's online. The Real Success for 2026. I still don't know. I think I got the link from Reverend Michael Beckwith, but there's a lot of powerful people on today. They talked about AI. They talked about the consciousness, and that's what's so important in today's world. You have to get rid of and dispel a poverty consciousness. And I know we've been brainwashed, through all of the media to have that consciousness to think of lack. But why, if we could take that same energy and instead of thinking about lack, think about prosperity? You know, there are so many people who have a limited idea of prosperity. And the thought of owning their own business is not even in the realm. And in today's world, and I'm looking at, oh my goodness, with this thing with AI, I've used it a little bit. It's kind of interesting how it works, especially for a card carrying baby boomer. It is quite an interesting challenge. And I'm going to get someone on to Access Wealth Nation to really talk about AI and how AI can be even a business. But in the meantime, I've had that today. It was from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and I couldn't even barely move. They even had a segment on investments. I didn't care too much for it, but because I feel that for people to invest, they have to have knowledge and they need to be able to understand, not because I said so, because I, as the financial person, I said so, or I, as the insurance people, I told you to do this. It has to be where they understand it and understand what they're doing. Number one, suppose the advisor is no more, dies. You should still know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So that's just my philosophy. And the more you know, the more you can do. But that being said, I've taken a little bit more time than I'm supposed to on that. I'm going to talk about the business structure. And so we have our slides up. Um, and yeah, we're reducing and introducing some of the basic business structures that are out here. Now, all of you, next slide, all of you have heard about the different aspects of setting up your business. There's a thing called a sole proprietorship, there's a partnership, there's a corporation, there's an S Corp. Every single one of these basically determine how you're taxed, how you should keep your records, what's your legal liability, how is it handled, as far as if, because we in New York, that's all over the country. I call it Sioux Cities because that's what your business structure says, what your liability is and how it can affect your own personal property. So you have to be careful with that. So next slide, we're looking at the first level is a sole proprietorship. Now that is really, with the sole proprietorship, there's one individual that owns it. You see the young lady sitting there, standing there, and the expenses and your income come from the business. They are basically also included on your personal tax return, the 1040. Um, it's a good way to start. We say, oh, I'm an LLC. Well, the first question comes into play from an accountant's point is, you're an LLC, a limited liability company. Awesome. How are you taxed? Because IRS doesn't understand just limited liability company. They want to know, how are you taxed? So in this case, one member, which the limited liability company gives you a limit, just like it says, a limited amount of liability. So if someone's going to sue you, when they see that you have filed that Schedule C, your assets, your house, your car, all of that is part of the business. But when you're starting up, a lot of times, and there are a lot of companies out here that, are promoting start your business. And then by starting your business, you can take the expenses because you're feeding that business. It's coming out of your work, out of your pocket, your maybe the business you're in, or maybe there's more money that has come from your savings. It could come, but that money is not necessarily generated by the business yet because it's new. It's a newborn baby. You're birthing it. And so when you're starting up, you can offset some of your income that you're making other places from your job, um, and you can offset it with the expenses of the business. But if you make a profit over $400, will be subjected to self-employment tax. So you want to be careful with the new tax laws. The good part is we understand that tips are limited, so that helps. But the reality is that the income we have to look at, and then we have to pay self-employment tax. Now, what's self-employment tax? Self-employment tax is your Social Security and your Medicare tax that you pay. So you're paying into the system, and you will have to at some point account for that money. It may help in the long run when you retire. But you can pay what they call quarterly estimates if you're making a profit and calculate. So the accountant that you get, and we'll talk about that because that's one of the partners that you should have, is to pay those quarterly taxes. Since you can't issue shares, you might find it difficult to raising funds. I remember they discussed Barry Gordy, and how he got started. He took loans from his family, you know, but they didn't have shares in the company per se, or however they worked it. But that's one of the difficulties in financing when you are a sole proprietorship. Uh, there is basically no cutoff of the business. It is a part of you. Unlimited personal liability, though. I emphasize that. No corporate business tax. Okay. And there's minimum reporting. The key is when you file your tax returns, just those key factors there. So our next type of business, we get the LLC one member. Then suppose you have the LLC multiple members, more than one. Next slide. And that's called a partnership. Okay. So in the partnership, you have other individuals. It may be just two people or it may be multiple people. There's general partnership and then there's limited partners. The general partnership that basically manages the company. The limited partnerships basically serve as investors, sort of like a silent partner. Now, this entity allows you to have what's called pass-through income, which and also pass-through losses. So, what does that mean? So that means you have your job and you're working and you've got your taxes coming out of it, but you're using that money to basically fund the business or invest in the business. So if you have pass through income and you're making a profit, that will be placed on what's called a 1065 form, and it will identify whether you have losses or you have profit. Either way, the key is you don't have to pay self-employment tax. Okay. And the losses may decrease or bring down your income, your taxable income from your job. General partnerships are generally personally liable for the partnership's obligations and debt. So it's through the pass through. So best way I describe it, it's like a marriage. So when you decide that you want to close out this partnership, it's like a divorce. You got to share, you got to break up and divide and come up with a legal way or a lawful way of how you will disperse. Hopefully, you will have what's called a contract. The contract should state how you get into the partnership and how you get out. More legal and accounting is required in the partnership. That's why I said the contract. The accounting you can't file your personal tax returns till you file till a K-1 is filed. So what does that mean? That means that as of March the 15th, the partnership papers have to be filed. Those 1065 forms have to be filed. And after that, then you can file your personal. So that doesn't give a lot. If we wait till the deadline or the dateline of March 15th, when it comes down to April 15th, you need to get those tax returns completed for your personal because they are related. So be very careful with that. Again, there's no corporate tax. There's an unlimited personal liability depending on how the partnership is worked. It gets classified as a partnership. There are, you got to be careful with your partners, just like you do with in a marriage. You don't want your partners doing stuff that could cause you more liability. So you have to make sure you have your legal contracts put together. And then you must make sure that there is an official partnership agreement. It's very, very important. Tax wise, as I said, you get started, but you got to make sure that those partnership papers are filed first, and then you do your personal return. Next comes the limited liability companies that basically can do some coverage. Next slide. Oh, no. Well, let me just talk about limited liability company. We talked a little bit about it, but that's just to help you if someone comes along and is getting ready to sue or thinks they have a case. You do have a bit of protection, a bit more flexibility. The reason why putting it under a limited liability company has to deal with your corporate documents, your business documents. What does that mean? So, when you have your business set up and it's under a limited liability company, but it's a partnership or a sole proprietorship, it is important that as far as when someone wants to sue, there's some rules and regs of what's available to them to sue. If the company is standing on its own, then that's the assets that someone can sue on as opposed to your personals. So that's the protection you have. Okay, so next one we're going to is the corporation. There are two types of corps. There's a C corp and an S corp. These are a little bit more of a structured situation, and it does usually cost more money. Let's first look at the corporation. The corporation, as it says, it's just like what it sounds like. It is a corpus, it's a body, it lives on its own. It's a living entity. And when you get ready to dissolve it, you got to kill it. I have another word for it. You just dissolve it. And there's certain rules and regs in every state. Now remember, the state has the rulings behind it. You can raise funds by offering stock, common or preferred stock, in your portfolio. Your C Corp are taxed on their own. They're corporates by themselves. So that means you don't get to write off if you have losses. Okay. If the corporation takes the losses, the corporation takes on the income. And then you can draw an income from the corporation like an employee. You can also participate in programs, profit sharing, or retirement plans within the corporation if you're an employee. The problem is there's a possibility of double taxation. The reason is that if the corporation is making a profit, then the shareholder or the owner is also liable for the taxation of what income it makes. So you get taxed double. Not a good situation, but there are ways around that with a good accountant. Okay. Then you have what's called the S Corp, which is still a corporation. And it's a great possibility for small businesses. With the S Corp, you do, as a S Corp owner, you must, in some ways, draw a marketable income. So you do have to take some kind of income out of the S Corp. But the positive is you can also raise funds for your business, and it puts you in a more business-like situation because you are a corporation. You do have some benefits that you can get. Like I said, you can be a part sometimes of a retirement plan, or even better yet, there's a profit sharing that could take place as an owner. So, especially with these new laws, there's so many things that you can do. You do have up to 100 shareholders that can help you in raising the money. Now, when I say 100, it can be more than that because one shareholder could be a couple or a family, and then be an individual also. So if you're trying to raise money, because again, starting a business is not, just a hill of beans. It's the possibility of fueling a dream. So you have to be careful, but there's some entities that you have to work with to know what. But you can only go up to 100 shareholders. There's qualifications and standards that have to be met. If the S corp is under the LLC, you have less meetings that you have to require to do. That's the legal side. The shareholders meetings, the watching the minutes of the meetings, keeping stuff, and that's one of the reasons why LLCs were basically created, because there so many people were not fulfilling the requirements, and an attorney could easily break the corporate veil. And that saying that you didn't do your minutes, or you uh, did not um, provide all of the documents, or you didn't even do a meeting. So a lot of people are doing these S corps now, but you get into it, you've gotten into, each state has requirements. Like New York is a little less than what New Jersey, whether you made a profit or not, you're going to pay for this S corp. So it's important that you have a good accountant working with you and giving you the guidance. But it is a good thing that you in the business, and especially we get in business not just to be in business. We get in business to make profit and then find ways to sort of lessen the tax liability. And that can be done. Uh, Basically, with the S Corp, there's a recognition within the United States, inside the United States, and not all states have, excuse me, have the opportunity of having the S corp tax. You have to know what jurisdiction you're in. Now, you could have an S corp in New York, and you could have a sole proprietorship in Florida. These are the things that you have to talk to your accountant. Now, the next level, next slide. Excuse me. Yeah, we went through the limited liability company, but I'll cover this other element because I didn't mention about the unlimited members of the LLC, and there's no board meetings or minutes required. Each state has certain ruling on how your LLC is handled. And there's some cost to all of these, how you formulate them, because the sole proprietorship is can be registered, like you can be registered as a sole proprietorship, or what they call a DBA, doing business as. So you have a an extra name other than your own on the business. The issue is that with that, you pay different in New York than you do upstate New York. So you register your business. When it comes down to the S corp, you have to first establish a corporation, and then you create the S corp on top of it, and that also is another cost. Okay, but the average um, business establishment usually is no more than $2,000. And if you're in business, $2,000 should not hold you back from establishing. In New York, the state of New York makes it a requirement for you to publish. Now, I don't know how people are publishing now because it has to go into a publication, a newspaper. I think there are some places that specifically do that now, but New York is the only place that does that. There, you're supposed to publish if you're establishing the limited liability company or the business. And when you close it, you have to let them know you're closing it. That's New York. Other places don't have that. It took me a while to learn that. I'm thankful to many attorneys who have shared that knowledge with me. But those are the things that you have to do. I'm trying to see if I'm leaving anything out. The double taxation does not apply to the S corp because it also generates what we call um, a it's a 1120 S form. So that's and the 1120K form, the 10 get it straight, Hannah. The 1020K form will allow you to file and get your portion of your income or deduction. So it is so important that everything gets filed also. S corp and your partnerships have to be filed by March the 15th. It can be filed before that because you should be able to close your books at least in January and get it done by February. And only thing that holds us up the most is if you have funds that are invested in brokerage firms because they have for the past few years delayed that report. And so it makes it harder for you to file your taxes. In today's world, with all this electronic stuff going on, we should be okay in getting things online, but it not always happens. The last thing is that in the um, limited liability company is to basically stop the corporate veil from being pierced, and when you get sued that your personal assets are protected. It is a shame that if you have a business and someone you didn't have business insurance and then someone gets hurt and then you've got to take and sell your home or your cars, your investment assets. You don't want that to happen, so you have to protect yourself. Next slide. So for your business, especially, it will grow with you. So let's say you start off with a sole proprietorship, and then you look to see as you get to certain levels that you say, well, maybe I need to expand more. I need to be able to raise funds. The corporation, I have more strength, but I don't get the deductions that I want. With the S corp, I can get the deductions, but I can't have unlimited shareholders. And all of these things, you need to have your team. The team is an accountant, a lawyer, and a financial advisor or educator. The reason being is that each one will serve in their own right. to give you guidance, but you can always bring your team together. Now, some people say, I don't have money to pay the retainer fees for the accountant, the lawyer, and the financial advisor. My advice to you is get to the attorneys, the accountants, and the financial advisor and find out how much is an hour's worth of their time or 2 hours so you don't have to put them on retainer. But to make sure that they know you got an hour or two to ask, and when your job is to put down everything you have and get it done and those questions answered within that hour or two. This way you know you're on the right path. It's important that you, before you even pass the idea of the business, you need to put yourself in a position that the business is working for you and not working against you, and that you have these professionals in place. Now, sometimes you can get lucky. You can have an accountant who's also a financial advisor, or you have a lawyer who's also an accountant and a financial advisor. Sometimes you can mix them up, but the key is that you need to be able to talk with them. And sometimes you can get those services from the by joining the chamber, a chamber, the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. That's the one I belong to, and they have certain services sometimes to help you just get on board. Also, there's places like SCORE, which is retirees. They go into the SBA, the Small Business Administration. There are places, but you need to make sure that you get your stuff put together correct, because it can cost you in the long run. And so, I also, as you know, with the Discover call that we make for our listeners that would like to get a financial, no obligation consultation, all you have to do is call 646-375-2121, and you can definitely get the information, get an appointment, be patient, especially if it's during tax time, which is starting at the end of January going into April 15th. And there are extensions going on, you know. Oh, since I've got this, and I got one thing I want to bring up because I'm hearing this a lot. If someone's telling you that you can get your taxes done with your pay stub, run. Okay. It is not being done. It's a loan being created for you, and you're going to pay interest on it. And I'm hearing that now more because people need their money. I got it. But that interest rate can be anywhere from 15% all the way up to 300%. Sweeties, y'all don't need your money that quick unless the marshals are on the door. You need not to go into that. You can find out what your refund could look like. But if it's processed, that's going to be a loan because IRS has not opened up to file taxes as of yet. And they probably won't till like the 26th, 27th of January. So I think I'd take that as a public service announcement. Don't fall for that. It is so important that that we watch out for the predators because they come in our community first and convince us to do some things that cost us money. Just wanted to add that in. So, as I said, if there's no questions, any issues, comments, uh, we will go forth, and you're listening to Access Wealth Nation on the Soul City Network and also on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. This is Dr. Jana B. Woodhouse, and we are giving you that checkup from the neck up from Access Wealth Nation. And our mission is to bring financial literacy to our urban community. Now, I'll take care of everyone, but my focus is on the urban community. So I appreciate you all for listening. And again, I look forward to seeing you next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. And I hope you have a blessed day. And again, still happy and prosperous New Year. Thank you.
She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be linked to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She was magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is magic.